Recording started. Y'all saw me do a quick check of my stuff off to the side. So here we are, day three of the conference. Yes, it is recorded again. This oh my gosh, my throat just got dry. Um, it's day three of the Single Moms Level Up Conference, and yes, we're recording it again because of what had happened. You know what had happened. So anyway, things sometimes, and by the way, my name is Bess Parks. As you can see here, Bess Parks. I'm the founder and the founder. Well, I guess I am the CEO, founder and CEO of Single Moms Level Up. I like to say hashtag Single Moms Level Up, and the Single Moms Club private Facebook group. So we've had an interesting 3 days. I could say an interesting 3 days. Things have kind of gone a little awry as some things have changed, on social media and some of the authorized, I want to say authorizations is what I want to say, but some of the terms and conditions have changed on the social media, so that's causing me to have to record this instead of going live like I had gone live. Actually, last year was live, and I was able to stream into the private Facebook group as well as stream on the YouTube channel for Single Moms Level Up and into the Single Moms Club. So anyway, here we are, day three of the Single Moms Level Up Conference. I think there's my doorbell. Um, but here we are at the Single Moms Level Up Conference, and we're going to just continue on. I'm looking at that right there, and it's bothering me. And that's like my pillow duster thing is like coming off. But anyway, total squirrel moment. Okay, squirrel. But anyway, when I'm nervous, my humor tends to come out when I'm a little nervous. Um, I like to try to do things to the best of my abilities and um, share in things that I've learned. And this has kind of caught me off guard and put me in a place where I'm having to figure out things on the fly of what to do and how to present things um, in a way that I'm okay with it. And I'm very nervous with all of this. I'm just going to tell you that now. But as a single mom, that's what I feel that single motherhood teaches us. So, see, to me, what I believe, and the theme of the Single Moms Level Up Conference is get your confidence back. Is I'm learning how to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Single motherhood does that for you. It teaches you how to be comfortable being uncomfortable because things happen with our kids that we can't control. Things happen that we can't control all the time. You know, they get sick, they have situations, they say stuff that you're not expecting them to say at the most inappropriate times. Maybe sometimes they act out or whatever else, but their own little personalities come out and we can't always control that. um, Sometimes it just happens, especially when they've gone to school, like preschool. Once they get introduced into school and there's other outside influences that they are around for 40 hours a week, more than 40 hours a week, because we tend to drop them off at daycare or whatever at like 6 a.m. or whatever, 6 or 6:30 in the morning, so we can get to work by 8, and then we get off at 5, and then they're there till for at least another hour. So that's about 12 hours that they're with somebody else that is influencing them. And not necessarily saying the teachers, but sometimes it's the teachers. Sometimes it's the teachers, but most of the time it's the other students. And so um, the other students, because people are being raised different ways and parents are accepting whatever they're accepting or not accepting, all of that comes in and starts to taint and twist how you've raised your children. So unless we get that totally embedded in them within the first 5 years before they go to school, then we have to constantly have that battle of trying to reprogram the children as they're going through school, reprogram them to how we're supposed to behave, how we're supposed to treat our each other, how we're supposed to treat the teachers, how we're supposed to treat everybody. And we have to reinforce that much more than we do if we don't implant that into the children up before they're 5. Some kids do go to school at 2.5, 3, and so you still have to help them with that. But we have to, that's where the quality time comes in. But in that process, us as single moms still have to continue to level up, which is to change our perspective. When I say level up, when we say level up, we mean a perspective, change our perspective. So our perspective of things as the kids grow, we're supposed to be growing. But a lot of times us as single moms, because we're not tending to ourselves and our self-care and our self-love, we're not growing. We're actually stagnant and staying in one spot, and the kids are growing in front, growing in front of us and growing beyond us, and we're not staying in the same step with them as far as continuing to grow. So we're back here and how they used to be back here, and then they're advancing, and we're like, wait a minute, what's happening? And then it all starts to get away from us, and we start to think, man, this is just going too fast. But that's why we got to live in the moment. And the only way that we can really enjoy and embrace living in the moment is by doing our self-care and self-love. We can't give from an empty place when we're tired, and we'll get frustrated more, easier. We're probably hungry or hangry, and that's what we're giving off to the kids. And so that's not something that they're receiving as love, but they're going to repeat and do the same thing we do. And I mean, especially up until they're 5, they're little sponges, and they will repeat and do and mimic what we do right back to us or to somebody else. So that's an act of an act of nature, and just something that is what it is. So if you start finding out that your children are responding back to you in a way that you're like, what is this? Think about, hey, what am I doing that they might be picking up? Because most things that kids catch is just that. They catch it from our actions and more so than what we say. Because if our actions and our words don't match, then it doesn't reinforce each other. They don't reinforce each other and make a better bond and a better memory for our children to take on to that. So I just want to say that what I've learned and what I hope you've learned through these past 3 days, that the single mom level up means that we still got to level up regardless of what's going on. We still got to show up. We still got to do the best that we can do with what we have in our hands. What I have in my hand is my cell phone, and I do have my my ring light that wobbles and moves around. I did attempt to switch and try to get fancy and use my iPad, but the iPad was too low. And so it looked like I was looking down looking down at you guys like that. I was like, that's not cool. That's not working for me. So what was in my hand was the better choice than trying to do something that was more upgraded and more sophisticated. As far as almost podcast style. I even brought my mic out because I have a podcast. We have a podcast as well called Just Be. It's a summer series, and so it only runs during the summertime because you're probably in the car more in the summertime, so that you can listen to that podcast. You don't necessarily have to watch it, but you can listen to it, and that's run through the YouTube channel. So using what you have in your hand oftentimes is going to be the right thing to use, the right thing to use. And you don't have to try to make it fancy and make it this and make it that. Not sure if our special guest is going to make it in tonight. She is on another coast and she is the mom of three, so I'm not totally sure that she's going to make it. I believe she did get the link and everything, but things happen, and yeah, we'll see if the special guest gets on and also remembers the time difference that we have, and we'll see about getting her on and getting her take and her input on her single motherhood, her single mom journey with her three kids, and some of the things that she's learned then versus now, because the kids are gotten a little older. Um, she's got younger kids. My kids are actually young adults, 19 and 23, soon to be 24. Um, and I believe her kids are 6 through 12 or 13, somewhere around in there. But she's got three kids. But anyway, when she comes on, if she's able to make it, we'll add her in. So what what I wanted to talk about this day, the third day of the Single Moms Level Up Challenge, is what would you want in a single mom community? Would you be okay with something that you could use your cell phone, open up an app, and be able to go into this community and find the resources that you need, or type in a quick question and ask, hey, I'm looking for this, I need this, and get some answers that way, through a discussion chat or whatever, and also to be able to join in on events similar to this conference, or a maybe a challenge event, or a girls' night out event, that we could do virtually, and this will keep us connected to each other. And then we could also meet single moms in other places. So then that also gives us an opportunity to possibly set up play dates for the kids if we have smaller kids, or just have a girls' night out, meet up, and meet up with some other single moms that maybe want to go out for brunch or something like that. If you got older kids and you don't have to worry about the little ones. Um, you could do that, or if you've got your support system in, that's in place, that will take your kids for you while you go do some single mom stuff, grown up stuff, and talk to grown ups and everything. That would be an awesome thing too. I had a single mom friend of mine, and mind you, we are more than single moms. We're women. We're women, and we were women with dreams and everything before we had kids. We don't just stop and no longer dream and no longer reach for dreams or anything of that sort because we have kids. We keep going, but it just may be at a different pace, is what that tends to happen at. So because we do have to make time for our children as well, and maybe it's something that will morph into something that makes it work better for our schedule with our kids, and also helps us to reach out and create relationships with, or not create, but look at the relationships that we have with the people that are around us, that are our village. Our village may be willing to help more than we are asking. Maybe we haven't asked, and so our village thinks we're okay, and then so they don't offer. So people that don't have kids or do have kids, or maybe they have kids at a different age, and you never ask for them to, hey, could you watch my kids for such and such time, because I want to go do this for myself, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. If we never ask, we never know it, that they're there to help us in the first place. So a lot of times, I know for myself, through my single motherhood journey, it would have helped to just have somebody to talk to. For whatever reason, in my head, I had it that I don't know, some outside things were just telling me that I was by myself. It was just thoughts that were going through my head that were just telling me that I was by myself and I didn't have anybody to talk to, and whatever else. And I don't know if I said this story here before during the conference, but what really got me going with the Single Moms Level Up was back in 2021. That helped as well, and that was after COVID. So after COVID, the solidification for the Single Moms Level Up came when I went out to visit my friends in Cali back in 2021 for my birthday. So I went out there to visit them and everything, and um, one of my friends, I don't know what I was about to call her, but one of my friends, she's family really, because I've known her for so long. I've known her over 30 years, so she's my sister. But one of my sister friends um, let me stay at her place, and she put together a brunch for us for my birthday. And so like three or four of us, if you include me, it was four of us. We all went to this place, and it was called Castaways, and it's in Burbank, and it's up on this hill. And if you sit out on the patio, you get this really great view, but you're covered under this patio. It's a covered patio. And because this was just after COVID, and COVID just things just started lifting after COVID, and airlines and stuff were working and whatever else. I went ahead, and because I had bought my tickets I had bought my tickets to go to California months ahead of time, and so they had lifted everything, but people are still wearing masks, but they were starting to not require you to have to wear mask or whatever. But I got on a plane, put a mask on anyway. But I got on a plane and went out to California, and had a really good time hanging out with my friend, and then realized um, while I was at this lovely brunch that was in celebration of my birthday, I realized that all four of us at that table were single moms at one point in time. Um, were single moms. We all four of us at the table had a single mom experience. There was one of the friends at the table that she's now married, so she's no longer a single mom, but she had a very long period where she was a single mother. Um, with her oldest child, and then now she's got a daughter with her husband, and so she's no longer a single mom, but she still had that very long single mom journey. So she still understood, and the other two are still single moms as well as me, and so that conversation, when I finally just said something, it was such a relief to get that weight off of my shoulders and to say what I had to say, because I was like, doggone it, I don't know what I'm doing with this girl. I raised my son, and my son was a whole different thing than raising my daughter. And I, being by myself, with a child, and trying to figure out how to raise and care for my children, and my son was one way and my daughter's another. I wasn't ready for my daughter. I wasn't ready. I didn't realize the additional care that women need. um i was um I was at I'll just say my experience growing up. I was trying to be daddy's little girl by being very into sports and cars and whatever else, so that we could have conversation to talk about. So I learned all about that stuff, and I also learned how to stuff my feelings down, which is a terrible thing for a woman. And I learned how to stuff my feelings down like most men do, and so I tended to gear and lean towards more of my male friendships, which are interesting. But they'll never understand, my point of view, because I'm a woman, and what I got the pleasure of doing, having a son and a daughter. I got the pleasure of seeing the differences between men and women. I got the pleasure of understanding that we are born the way that we think is ingrained, and that's the way it's that way when we're born. Nothing, nobody molds it. It's just that way when it's born. We have two different thinking patterns. Our rationales are different. They are what they are, and there is no changing it. And so I understood that and got that. I'm sliding. I'm sliding off my bed. But I got that understanding through being a single mom. And I think if I wasn't a single mom, I probably wouldn't have seen that as well as I did. Um, and understood it, and then accepted it as well, that hey, this is how this is, and I need to adjust how I relate, and have my relate with my son versus how I relate with my daughter. Now my son and my daughter see that as me treating them differently. I am, because one's a boy and one's a girl. Y'all process things totally different. So yes, I am treating you differently. I have been saying and arguing, telling them I don't treat you guys any differently. I treat you according to your personality and what you need. Which is the thing to do. I can't treat my daughter like I do my son. If I do, she doesn't take it right. She doesn't take it well, and it's off. It's just off. And then if I treat my son the way that I treat my daughter, then it's like, give me some space. So I do have to treat them differently. They don't know that and don't understand, didn't understand it. I think they're still trying to understand that, as young adults, but that's the way that it is. They won't understand it until they have kids of their own. And I understand that statement now, because I used to be a little offended, like, "What, you trying to call me stupid?" Is you trying to call me stupid in a way, and saying I can't understand that, some of the things until I have kids of my own. But it's very true that until we have kids of our own, we really don't understand what a lot of our parents have said or done, or why they do some of the things that they do, especially between the difference of a boy and a girl, and how they're treated and raised. You're raised the same, you have the whole total concept of the same, but certain things, have to be different, because it's a different thought process, a different way of receiving information. It is something that is ingrained in a male and a female that is different. um, then you add a personality into that, and then how you add all of those things together, and they do have to be treated, not treated, but um addressed differently. There we go. They have to be addressed and steered differently, because of the differences between them. And it's not just sexual organs, it is a mind, the mindset, and the way their mind receives, and the output that comes out of it, that's required, that just happens. And so we have to go with that flow, and accept those things as they are. So um the other thing that I wanted to talk about is again, I was talking about the if you had something like an app or something like that, um someplace that you can go, a group, where you had a group or a community that you can go with single moms, and you could talk about this and that and whatever else is going on, and have that opportunity to have those conversations within the group, and keep it between the group. Go, take your phone and go off in, your room or whatever, have that conversation, and go in your car if you're at work, and say, hey, I need to talk to somebody. If anybody's, got some time, I need to vent this out, or type it out, or journal it out. I'm telling you, there's something awesome, and something that's really therapeutic, that comes from writing out how you're feeling, writing out what's going on, writing out, things of that sort. There's something therapeutic that helps you um, to helps your mind to understand, and to come up with solutions, to accept some things, to let go of things, to release the stress. All that happens when you actually do some journaling. So, some journaling. So I have some, I call them single mom queen kits. It's a self-care, self-love kit, basically. self-care, self-love kit, and it has, and I'm still gonna keep it that way, but it has. I'm looking to see if I have a box somewhere. I do, but it's full. Um, and I don't want to tip it because I don't want the stuff to move around. But in that box, it's like a mystery box now is what I've started doing, but it's a mystery box that will have something that's self-care in there, something that is self-love, something to encourage you, some words of encouragement, you know, thank you cards, a sticker that you can put up and encourage yourself in the morning and put it wherever you need to put it. Um, you know, things of that sort. Some things that will encourage, some encouragement, some self-care, some self-love items, some smell good stuff, something you could wear, things of that sort will be in this box. And it'll be like a subscription box. And the subscription box would come out monthly. And so that would be something that, that single moms can order monthly, or somebody can order them for somebody, a membership, do this monthly, subscription box that's similar to a membership, and do that and send that and give that to somebody as a gift for Christmas. That would be an awesome thing to single moms to do for a single mom. So single moms, if there's something that we could really use, and that's something that somebody actually thinks about us and gets us something like that, like um, a subscription box, where we get it for a whole year, or where we get a new box every 30 days, or somebody just to get those one-offs, a subscription box for a month, for buys that 1 month for somebody. Where it's got, some things in it. It may not have everything that the subscription would have in it, but it will have some of the items that come in a subscription box. Or just to buy us something encouraging that smells good, or a t-shirt with encouraging words on it. Something like that would be an awesome thing for a single mom to get. Unexpectedly, would be an awesome thing, a very surprise. Surprises are good for single moms, especially when it's encouraging, when it's something that they can touch and feel, when it's something that's just some encouraging words, just even note cards. We don't write anymore. We email and text and whatever else, but sometimes that gets misconstrued. And when you see that somebody took the time to actually write something out for you as a single mom, and even as a person, that's an awesome. You feel the love through that when somebody takes the time to actually handwrite a note to you of encouragement, or just to say thank you, or I love you, or anything of that sort, towards a single mom is great. Also, some things that for single moms are hand-me-downs, believe it or not. If somebody has another child and that child is older than that child, see if you have a single mom that's around that will be willing to take some of the clothes that your kids don't fit anymore. And we're not talking about the old ratty stuff, the stuff that's got holes in it, whatever, but something that has been gently used. Something that I just recently found was this consignment. Um, I want to call it a store, but it's not a store because it moves. It's almost like a pop-up. It's almost like a pop-up. That's what it is. But it's this consignment event that happens all over the country, and it's called Just Between Friends, JBF. So it's Just Between Friends. And what it is that you can go to these events. They usually have free tickets, or you can pay to get in earlier and have an earlier opportunity to go and see what's available. And everything is like 50 to I want to say 50 to 80% off. 50 to 80% off, 50 to 70% off is probably more like it, but 50 to 70% off. I got a stroller. It is a um something first. something for a stroller, but it was a stroller, and I got this stroller for like 35 bucks. I got a pack and play for 20. Y'all know how much those pack and plays are. Those pack and plays can run over $100. This pack and play, I got it for 20 bucks. It had barely been used. Um, but it was $20. It was crazy. It was $20. It didn't have the bassinet part, which was okay. I didn't really need to have the bassinet part. Oh, I'm sorry, my foot was itching. I've been outside, but it didn't have the bassinet part. I kind of sort of didn't need the bassinet part because I have another one that has a bassinet already. For the smaller, newborn babies that have bassinets and well, changing. Yeah, no, it has a bassinet. It doesn't have a changing table. So those pack and plays can either come with a bassinet, which is will fill it up and have raise up the mattress part of it up higher, so that if it's a smaller baby, you don't have to lean all the way in to get the baby and then pull the baby out. It's up higher so you can get the baby in and out easier. And then you can take that off, and then as they get older, you can use it later as a nap area, thing for the toddlers and things. Just as long as they're not too tall. When they start getting too tall, then they're not gonna fit in there either. But and then sometimes some of them have changing tables and the bassinet on it. So I didn't get one of those. It was just one that was a regular pack and play that if you decide to go somewhere and you got a toddler with you, an infant, 6 months, whatever, you can put them in that, because the bassinet won't hold a 6-month-old anyway. Bassinet will pretty much hold a um I'd say up to maybe 3 to 4 months. And then after that, you need to get that baby out of there and take that bassinet out and let them just be in the pack and play, because they're too heavy. And that pack and play can the bassinet portion of it could collapse itself, or cause the pack and play to collapse, even though it locks in. But if they're moving around too much, it could cause something that you don't want to happen. Um, it just becomes a little unsafe. So my grandson, my youngest grandson, he is about to be 3 months on the 30th, and he's in his bassinet. And I mean, if he starts kicking his legs, he gets that pack and play rocking. He gets it rocking, and you can hear it rocking. So I know that it's getting close to the time that we're going to have to remove the bassinet and just put him at the bottom. He's scooting. So I believe that's probably the time that we need to take them out of that bassinet portion of the pack and play. But anyway, this Just Between Friends is something that I recently found out, and I found out that it is nationwide. It happens on different days in different areas and stuff. If you go to the Single Moms Level Up Facebook page, it's there. I posted it in the Single Moms Club when it was happening here. And at one point, they gave a schedule for where it was happening throughout the country. So it's one of those places. And so it's some type of a franchise. It is a franchise, so somebody can do it, pick it up as a franchise. Of course, you can also sell your gently used stuff. You price tag it. They give you the template for it to do the price tags, and they actually give you, when you say that you want to sell and be a consignor, selling, not just buying. You want to sell stuff, then they give you an opportunity to sign up for it. It's a limited time, because they got to set up and they got to send you the emails, and it's probably about a month out before it happens. They start sending you emails. So they send you 4 emails, and each email will tell you what you need to do. Okay, get all your things, do this now, separate them according to this. You're gonna need this, you're gonna need this size, safety pins, blah blah blah. Here's the template for a thing. Take it to Staples, excuse me, or FedEx, and get the price tags printed out, and you can drop it off. Sorry, I needed some water. You can drop it off, and they will put it out for you. you can get the credits and everything, and you can use those credits to buy stuff there, or you could just, uh, get the money back. They'll pay you the money. But the whole point really is to do the consignment. Consignment is where you give stuff and then you use whatever you pay and you get credit for it, and you go and shop at the place to buy what you need. That's a great thing to do because Target has it has somewhat of a similar program where they're Jack and Cat or something like that. Jack and Cat, their brand for kids clothes. If you have the receipt, and whether it's used or not, it has to be gently used. Within a year, you can go back, take those things back that your child no longer wears, take them back to Target, and they will give you credit for them. I saw one lady that was on social media that actually tested that out, and she was the one that pointed out that, hey, you have to have the receipt or the code off the receipt so that you can get the credit back. And she got like over $400 worth of credit. And so she turned around and went and bought her kids other clothes that she can, that they needed. So these are some things that we could do as single moms to help our budgets out when we need more clothes, or our kids are growing out of clothes or anything of that sort. Those clothes at Target are really good clothes. Not always name brand clothes, but because they're Target brand clothes, but they're very good clothes. I don't know what's going on with some of the the younger moms, these days they want everything to be name brand. I don't know, maybe it's social media that's doing that, but I'm just like, hey, clothes are clothes. They can have some really cute clothes. Um, that that are clean, they look nice, they have a collar and whatever else, and they're starting to coordinate and do whole outfits, with shoes and everything. It's not just, oh, we got shoes here, we got this there, we got that there. They're starting to coordinate everything. I went and bought my older grandson a little outfit, and had shorts and a shirt, and then I found some shoes that actually went with it, and he looked so cute in it. And his mom was really happy about it, even though she, prefers to have labels, name brand everything, and I was like, well, I thought this was cute. And once she saw it on him, she was like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. Make sure you take pictures. We don't always have to have the name brand everything, just as long as the kids are clean. Um, and, I'd say at least coordinated, would be nice. Being coordinated would be nice if they've got some type of outfit or whatever, but just as long as they got what they need and they're clothed and they don't have holes in their clothes or their shoes and everything, that's what's important. We shouldn't put the pressure on ourselves to get them the absolute best of everything. um, Good is good enough, so a lot of times. um, and it doesn't mean that it's not a cute outfit. It doesn't mean whatever. Nobody could tell that it's this or that or whatever. I didn't start having that issue. And of course, until my kids went to like junior high or sixth grade, I think fifth or sixth grade is when it started becoming, hey, what kind of shoes you got on, what kind of this, and then what kind of that. It doesn't matter. Just, go with it. So, but of course, kids are not, they're not for that. So I told them, because at the time, they were getting allowances. My kids were getting allowances. Uh, um, Back then, allowances and money for grades and birthdays and whatever. I was like, you save up, you get half of it, and I'll do the other half. But I'm not spending over $100 on some shoes. That's just me. I'm not doing it. I think that's just dumb. Um, but what can I say? That's just me. $100 on some shoes is just that. Why? Why am I doing that? Um, uh, I think I'm still that way because I still don't spend over $100 on shoes. Clothes, maybe, um, maybe, but that's a whole bunch of clothes, not just on a pair of pants. I'm not spending $100 on a pair, over $100 on a pair of pants. I'm not doing that. $80 is too much, So unless it's something formal or something to that effect. I don't see a reason for doing that. But that's my personal opinion. So back at the consignment, check that out. It's just between friends. I think it's jbf.org. Not totally sure, but check it out. Check it out on my Facebook page or on Instagram. I think I posted it on. No, I didn't post it on. I posted it on Facebook. I posted it on Facebook. So if you look at the Single Moms Level Up Facebook page, it's on there. You can check that out. Um, I'll see if I can find that information. I'll find the information and put links in the Single Moms Club. I know for sure it's in there because I put it through there when I saw that, when it gave a list of some of the cities where they're located, and they repeat in the same cities. They just move to different areas of those cities. Because like in Houston, we've got one in North Houston. There's one here in South Houston. And there's two locations in South Houston where they are. And then there's one location that's up in North Houston. My allergies are kicking in. Uh, actually, I should say my allergy medicine is wearing off. And now my nose is running, it's starting to run, and my throat is getting all scratchy. But so it looks like our special guest is not going to make it in. So sad to sad to hear that. I was really looking forward to it, but unfortunately, it looks like she's not going to make it in. Maybe she didn't realize the anyway. I don't know, but anyway, so I'm wishing her well and hoping everything is fine, with the kids and herself. And I'll reach out to her after this recording is done. But that's something also that we should do, is reach out to other single moms. If you know a single mom, become friends with them. They might be experiencing some of the things that you're experiencing as well, or maybe they have information that they could share with you, or you have information you could share with them, and we share stories about not story, but share of ourselves and what's going on or what has gone on. Maybe we could help each other out. You could even end up with a group of friends, single mom friends, where you do something like the Single Moms Club, um, in your area, and you meet up, and maybe have you start reading books, and start, attending events and whatever else together. Something that you could do. So what I do here in Houston, and I don't do it as a group, but what I do is I have a single mom that I met, that actually is from California also as well, but she's from Northern California, and I met her here in Houston, and she's had some events, and so I've gone to some of her events. Um, there is another single mom that I met also, that I reach out to and check on her through another event that I went to, which was a Single Mom Summit. And I met this single mom. I met I met or started following a single mom online. Found out she was in Houston and she had an event in Houston. So I went to that event. Found out she used to live here. Found out she was from California as well, but now she lives in Arizona. Ended up meeting some other single moms that live here in Houston. And so since then, we've all kind of checked in on each other. Um, we check in on each other. Sometimes we challenge each other. We do what single moms need. I'm sorry, it looks like there's a bug on the ceiling. The glasses I have on are only for stuff that's right in front of me, and I can't really see far away. It's just blurry. But anyway, but that's what single moms need. This is what we need as single moms, I feel. Let me know in the comments if you feel the same thing. Is if you had somebody to talk to, somebody to check in on you, somebody that was a single mom that would understand that if you pick up the phone and say, I can't talk right now, let me call you back. They understand that their feelings aren't hurt, they're not butt hurt. They'll sit back for a minute and then still check on you again later. or just, send you something just to let you know somebody's thinking about you. Somebody wants to know, cares, and wants to know, are you good? Are you not good? Do you need something? And do that and be that for somebody, another single mom. If us single moms would come together and help each other out, just by talking to one another, meeting up with one another for coffee, or sharing information and resources. This alone would help the feeling that most of us single moms feel. And I have, we have, I think, two 249 or 259 people in the Single Moms Club private Facebook group. And most of those people, I'd say almost half of the women that have come in, have said the greatest obstacle or difficulty in being a single mom is doing it alone. We're not alone. If we reach out and look around in our circles, we're not totally alone. Even the babysitter could be a good resource. So when I had my son, and my son was 6 or 7, my daughter was, 6. My son was 6 or 7. My daughter was 2, and I had a babysitter. She was a very good resource for me. So for my son, I would have never have put him in football, because I didn't know where these I didn't know where these leagues and stuff are. I'm sorry, I heard something ding, and I think, oh, that's my doorbell. That's my doorbell. So I thought that maybe my guest was here, and that's why it was dinging, but that's the doorbell. So the babysitter was a good resource for me. So what she did was, her 2 boys were going to be in football, and they were like, yeah, in California we call it Pop Warner. Here in Texas they call it something else. I can't think what it is right now. But in California we call it Pop Warner football. It's the football that happens outside of the school system. And so she introduced me to Pop Warner and said, "Hey, you should put your son in Pop Warner." She's like, "I'm here anyway. I can just bring him and you just pick him up." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Well, what does that, what does that entail?" It was a lot of money. I admit it was a lot of money, but I tried it for a year to see. I was like, let me try it for a season and see if he likes it. And so I did that, and my son loved it. Loved it. So I made sure that I had money for that, for Pop Warner. And so when the taxes came around, when income taxes came back and they came around, I would set aside the money for him to play Pop Warner. I'm going to tell you, Pop Warner and that outside teams that you do, it runs about 500, $300 to $500 if you total it all up, because there's the pizza parties, there's you got to bring snacks for the week or for this game. All of that happens. Um, I was able to participate at one point and be the team mom. Well, there was, I think, 3 years in a row I was like team mom. One of them I was the team was so big that we had to have 2 team moms. But because there were so many kids, so there was 2 of us. But um that the babysitter was a good resource. And so I've used babysitters that most of the time, actually all of them, now that I think about it. No. Okay, so I was going to say I've used babysitters that were home daycares. So where somebody at their home was doing a daycare, and I've used those most of the time that my children were smaller and they needed daycare. Even up until my son was like in grade school and my daughter was in grade school, they were being looked after by somebody who had a daycare in their home. And it was before that, when they were smaller, like 2, 1.5, 2, 3, whatever. the person that had an in-home daycare couldn't take any more kids, and so she referred me to, here's another resource. She referred me to, hey, there's a Head Start program at this high school, and referred me to them, and I was able to get my son in right away. Here's the catch though, he had to be potty trained. I hadn't even started potty training, but good thing I was checking that months ahead. I was about to start a job in October, and I was graduating from school with my bachelor's degree in June. So I had the whole summer to get my son potty trained, and potty trained he was, because he was like 2.5, and that was the age that they could take him in, was at 2.5. Uh, he was they took him early. Did they take him early? Yeah, they took him early because he had to be 2.5, but in order to be accepted in there. My son's birthday's not till November. But they went ahead and took him early because he was going to be 2.5 that year. So they took him early, even though just as long as they said, just as long as he's potty trained, then that's cool. So was that right? Hmm. I don't exactly remember. I'm not going to rack my brain about it. But anyway, had to be 2.5 and had to be potty trained. But I had a whole summer in order to potty train him, and that I did. I potty trained him and got him into this Head Start program, and then I put my daughter in that Head Start program. But I had to put her into a daycare that was at a church first, because the Head Start program had a wait list. And so this time I had a wait list. And so she went to a daycare that was at the church. And who referred me to that was the actual Head Start place. Said, hey, there, no, 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 no. Somebody else told me about it, a neighbor told me about this preschool that was at a church. So we have a village that's all around this. The thing is that we have to get more social with other single moms and be willing to speak up and say hey and become friends with um, with other single moms, because so that we can change resources and realize the sources and the resources and the people that you have around, the relationships is really what it is. The relationships that you have that are there for your good and to help us. So the babysitter, the neighbor, um, people of that sort, people that have daycares, be more willing to speak to people. I know it's hard because you may feel like you're an outcast because everybody's got a mate, or they're a lot of the events you go to, they're married or whatever, but they're still willing to share information. If we are friendly, we can have more friends. And so let's be friendly and have more friends and realize the people that are single moms, go up and talk to them, and see if they're willing to be friends or change information, or if you can develop a relationship with them, and you guys can become a resource and friends and backbones, and somebody to talk to you, with somebody that understands what's going on. So I'm going to end it at that. And yes, this was a different way of how we do things, and things will be better next year. But I'm glad that we persevered. I was gonna say but you're here with me. I'm glad we're persevering through this, and now we know what we need to do. So if you're watching this, can you subscribe and like and follow, so that like, follow, and become a friend or whatever needs to be done, and hit the subscription bell. Would be appreciated, so that I can get up to the 100, so we can start having more live sessions again, and not do the recorded thing, but have a live session or a live event that we can bring to you um, again at some point in time. We're not giving up. We're going to keep going, because that's what us single moms do. Hashtag single moms level up. Bye. See y'all next time, or another event. See you then. Look out for that subscription box too. It's coming soon. Much love.